As many of you know, I'm Jackie Paval. I want to thank you for watching my testimony, which I have decided to call I Can Do More. And I just wanted to say it's an honor to be sharing my 5-minute testimony. I grew up in Parma, Ohio. I was a very empathetic child. I just remember feeling I really wanted my family to be happy and wanted to do whatever I could to make them happy. And in addition to that, my parents were a little bit, at times, kind of emotionally dependent on me in a way that, parents aren't really supposed to depend on their children. And then when I was 12 years old, when I was in junior high, I had performance anxiety that really was hitting me hard when I was playing the clarinet, when I would have to stand up and compete for which position, first or second or third seat. So I quit that because it was overwhelming. And then I had always loved playing sports. And then when I was 16 years old, I started really feeling the anxiety when I was playing games at 16. So, and then I was really sad when my doctors and my parents decided to start me on anti-anxiety and anti-depressant medication. In 12th grade, a couple years later, I decided to quit basketball because my fear was becoming debilitating. Shortly after graduating from Valley Forge High School, I enrolled at Cuyahoga Community College, and this is a little difficult for me to share, but I had started seeing a new psychologist, and I decided to deal much more in depth than I had been with. I was having some same-sex attractions, which actually I'd had all my life. And she actually attended herself a church in Lakewood that was an open and affirming church. So I started going there. And 2 years after that, I graduated Cleveland State, and my psychological issues just felt so overwhelming that I didn't feel like I could keep working in the field of psychology, which was hard to get a job with a bachelor's, and I didn't feel like I could handle going on to grad school either. So I signed up for Social Security disability, and I was awarded it. So, and then in the meantime, I met somebody at the church, and we did become girlfriends, and it was a very difficult relationship. It was very abusive at times. And then even though I couldn't stand the abuse, at one point she broke up with me, and she even told me that nobody would ever love me like her, which I think it really kind of hit deep. And so I got really depressed, and I didn't think I wanted to live anymore, so I admitted myself into the Southwest General Hospital psychiatric ward. And then after 2 weeks, I was able to go, and I did feel a little bit better. But my life felt so out of control that I decided I would start trying to control my weight. And this really got out of hand. It got to the point where some days I would be at the gym for like 5 hours. And then I stopped eating much. So I went to the emergency room at one point, and I weighed 97 pounds. And then around the same time all this was happening, I decided to stop taking my medicine. I think the lack of weight on my body was definitely affecting my brain, so I made a really unwise decision to just stop taking my medicine cold turkey. And then I started withdrawing from society, and I was just staying in my apartment, and my case manager told me that if I didn't stop doing this, that there is such a thing as the county can get involved, and they can force themselves into the apartment and make me go to the emergency room, and that was what happened. And that was very difficult. I ended up feeling like I was able to face work again, so I got a job. And then the year after that, I decided I could handle school. I wanted to do more with my life, so I went to grad school. And then, I was in another relationship that had broken up, and it was kind of like that breakup, it really hit home to me that people are going to come and go in my life. You know, one minute I think I'm going to spend forever with somebody, and then shortly after that, it doesn't pan out. So it really, really understood how important it was for me to put God first and to really invest the majority of my life in that relationship and putting Him at the center of everything. And right around that time, I had started going to a new church that was helping me find Jesus for the first time and reading the Bible. And then at that time, Barbara Hawkinson invited me to study the Bible because she knew me from the grocery store where I worked. And just for people that don't know, I ended up doing really well with my job and with school. I did graduate, and I'm now a licensed professional counselor. And I just wanted to share that during the first Bible study that Barbara and I had, she was very transparent and explained how giving her life to Jesus had saved her life. And I was really liking the things I was learning in the Bible studies. And I really wanted to start making wiser decisions in my life. I thought I was a wise person, but some of my decisions just didn't back that up. And I was ready to just start maturing and really get serious about life. And then on June 20th of last year, after reading some difficult scriptures that were convicting me in new ways for the first time in my life, I did agree that I would pay the cost of discipleship. And at my baptism at Lake Erie, the last basically proclamation I made before being dunked in the water was that I would never put anything before God again. And I just want you to all witness that I do intend to keep that promise. Difficult as it may be, but the more I get to know God, the easier it's becoming because He's so lovable and worthy of my devotion. So thank you. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe and healthy, and I'm really glad you're all in my life.